So I've noticed since the turn of 2025 that some of the news has been stranger than usual, and I'm going to go through some of it as a nice light-hearted start to February of 2025. So I'm starting off with this: the Belgian government advised Belgians not to eat their Christmas trees.
This is tyranny, the tyranny of Brussels.
Brexit, rescued us from this oppression, but apparently. The city of Ghent in Belgium urged its citizens to make spruce needle butter. However, Christmas trees are often treated with pesticides and, don't laugh at this word, Stelios, fire retardants. That means that it prevents fire, okay? Which, if you consume them, are cancer-causing and hormone-disrupting. So yes, they're actually saying, despite what the city said, you should not eat your Christmas tree.
No, this makes me ultra-libertarian once again, because a man's liberty is a man's right to eat one's tree.
If I want to consume pesticides and fire retardants...
I want to eat my tree.
Is that what happens in Greece?
No.
No.
I want to...
You want to be the man to start it?
Yeah. It's a better principle.
Mm-hmm. But if you're feeling hungry and say you go on holiday from Belgium to North Korea for some reason... Well, I've got some bad news for you, because apparently it is now treasonous to serve hot dogs. Apparently, if you're caught cooking or selling hot dogs, you can be arrested and sentenced to hard labour in North Korea. Because, of course, it's unrevolutionary to eat hot dogs.
This makes no sense. Why?
Because they're American.
Yeah.
Also, wearing blue jeans is also considered to be counter-revolutionary. And
that's economic protectionism to a whole new level.
So yes, if you wanted some respite, you can't eat your tree. Well, you can't eat hot dogs anymore either. I know, it's political correctness gone mad. And say you want to go to somewhere to buy some furniture, take your mind off of the fact that you can't eat these, your Christmas tree or a hot dog. Well, you need to watch out. You can't roll up with your tank, because apparently... a dozen or so anti-tank mines ended up in Ikea, which you wonder, how does this happen?
That would be cool, though, to have a tank and just drive around.
Do you know that tanks in Britain are actually road legal? You can take a tank on the roads in Britain fine. In fact, tank ownership is just as legal as a regular road car.
Okay.
So yeah, they may have taken our firearms, but we can still have our tanks.
The Greens have anti-tank mines because they say they pollute too much.
Yeah, it's in there to appeal to the eco audience that are just tired of all of these British tank owners. So apparently they were in Poland. There was a cargo shipping of mines that was, I think, destined for Ukraine, and they were being transported by rail near to the border of Belarus, and then they're in a ammunition depot. Even. I don't know why I said it like that. I'm saying it like I'm foreign now. And they were offloaded, and then they went to the wrong warehouse, which happened to come under the control of Ikea. And so Ikea apparently contacted the people who shipped them and asked them, when are you going to collect all of your mines? And so for a few days, Ikea was in possession of lots and lots of anti-tank mines. So there you go.
Defuse the bomb yourself.
Mm-hmm. But you might be concerned, okay, well, these anti-tank mines could have, been taken up by terrorists and caused an act of terror. Well, you might take some solace cowering in your bedroom, but be wary, because apparently the UK government has issued a cyber attack warning, as apparently sex toys could be weaponized by hackers, which I didn't know was even possible. Apparently, and I'm going to read directly from this, a report commissioned by the Department for Science, Innovation and Technology, so a government report, this is obviously very important stuff to the British people, well-spent taxes, has raised fears over the potential for cyber criminals to bypass security on app-controlled vibrators and alter their intensity.
Take them to epic mode.
So what are these cyber attackers going to do exactly? No, that setting's too high. I'm slightly uncomfortable now. The report found the connection between sex toys and smartphones are often not encrypted, making them vulnerable to cyber attacks. It also found apps used to control sex toys often store sensitive information on third-party servers, which are also vulnerable to hacking, which is just another reason not to be a degenerate, isn't it?
Yeah, you need the Republican congressman who'll appear out of nowhere and say,
slap it out your hand and say, the Chinese are going to get your data if you use that.
Stop using that vibrator. Protect the Republic.
That's both immoral and insecure. Shut them down. So you think, okay, so maybe I should go outside. My home is not safe. Ikea's not safe. Maybe I should just go for a walk. And if you're in Florida, this might not be a good idea, because around this time of year, apparently, when things start freezing, you have to watch out for falling iguanas, as apparently, and this is a direct quote from the article, the cold-blooded animals live in high trees throughout Florida, but aren't used to cold temperatures, meaning they just drop from the trees. And here is a sort of screenshot of one falling. I don't really want to show it, because I hope it doesn't get hurt. But yes, yeah.
That's an iguana fail compilation.
I don't know if it's a full compilation. I hope they're out there somewhere. But yeah, apparently if you're walking underneath trees in Florida when it's cold, you could be hit by a rogue reptile.
It's a cold town.
I knew you'd like that one. I put that in there just for you. And in animal-related news, apparently Colorado has ruled that elephants at a zoo cannot pursue their release because they're not human.
Yeah, but elephant rights are human rights.
I know, we just covered that in your last segment, didn't we? So apparently the case...
whale rights.
That's true. The case was brought by animal rights groups, and apparently the Colorado Supreme Court ruled on Tuesday that they can't have the legal right to pursue their release because they are not human. And the court said the decision does not turn on our regard for these majestic animals. Instead, the legal question here boils down to whether an elephant is a person, the court said. And because an elephant is not a person, the elephants here do not have the standing to bring a habeas corpus claim.
No, I want to go for elephant visibility.
Yeah, you want more elephants just around about?
Yeah.
Do you know in Zimbabwe?
Destroy things.
Zimbabwe, they're killing them to eat them because they're running out of food. I wonder why that happened. Also, a new kind of fungus has been discovered, named after David Attenborough, which turns cave spiders into zombies and makes them climb up to the top of a cave roof. And
the zombie climbs on the top of the roof.
Yeah, the fungus controlling it directs the spider, and then it infects other spiders through that. And apparently the first one was actually found in a castle, the first specimen known to science, and it was discovered when the BBC was making a documentary. So there you go.
A zombie spider.
Yes. The parallels between David Attenborough's sort of eco-activism, making lots of just-up-oil zombies, and the zombie spiders, there's a certain palpability to that. And the final bit of animal news is a new bug was discovered. Where do you think this bug was discovered, Stelios?
I know. First of all, it just looks like a weird arthropod.
It does look like one of those. It doesn't look like Darth Vader at all.
Yeah, I find them unbelievably cringe. But what does it have to do with Darth Vader?
Well, it's been named after Darth Vader. It's called Baphonimus vaderi, after Darth Vader because of the shape of its head. Apparently, it looks like Darth Vader's helmet.
Actually, I don't know. It reminds me of the other people in the room where Darth Vader entered in order to seek counsel to Darth Sidious in A New Hope. They had some huge helmets.
Oh, like the clones?
Yeah.
Yeah,
not
well...
the clones. It doesn't matter.
But anyway, it was found in a Vietnamese wet market.
I'm going to look the other way.
People were eating these. That's how they found them. People were just like, yeah, what is this strange creature unknown to science? Let's just eat that thing. And apparently it tastes like lobster. So that actually sounds quite nice.
Actually, lobster tastes good.
I really like lobster, yeah.
Yeah.
And so they look like giant sea lice, don't they? That's what they look like to me. But yeah, the fact that they found a new species in a food market, well, of course it was going to be in Asia, let's be honest. They eat anything over there. And Okay, I lied. There is one more bit of animal news. So apparently, the British Navy here, and it's been an embarrassing month for Britain more generally. The Navy bosses feared suspicious pings were Russian drones targeting UK nuclear submarines, but apparently they picked up farting whales. One would have to wonder how accurate our detection systems are if you can mistake a whale for a drone.
Well, Josh, I think you're a bit you're a bit unfair because you don't know if something has changed in the whale's diet, and people aren't that knowledgeable of it yet. It just makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe something in the diet of whales changed.
We need to look into that.
We only learn it now.
That's true. They could be eating something else. Who knows? But one other thing that I thought was amusing was this. Apparently, the UK has sentenced the first person ever for cyber farting. Apparently, a lady was harassing. I think it was the ex of our current boyfriend or something. I don't know. Some sort of lovers dispute. And this 25-year-old woman sent 4 videos of her farting, which is deemed cyber harassment by magistrates. And she had to go through a 12-month community order, which required her to pay £100 in compensation, £199 in costs, along with a 2-year restraining order, which is a very expensive fart.
Right, so he had some outputs.
It was a woman.
So she had outputs, and someone filmed her, took videos.
She filmed herself and sent it as like a taunt to this person. Imagine that. You're trying to get back at someone.
Like a bully or something. This is what's going to happen to you unless you comply. In your face.
I don't know whether it was a threat. She just sent them. I don't know what possesses someone to do this, but yes, Britain's been very embarrassed this month. Everything that's coming out of Britain is very shameful. But it's a lot better than living in Paris, because Callum points out this. This is from the Pakistani embassy. It says, "Paris, we're coming today," which this was to do with resuming flights between Islamabad and Paris on the 10th of January. However, it takes on a bit of a different look, doesn't it? Yeah. Americans in the audience, I'm sure, can point out how this looks, particularly around September. So it looks like Pakistan's threatening to blow up the Eiffel Tower. Yeah. If you didn't get it, if you're stupid. There's also this. Apparently, the astronomers were worried about there being a newly discovered asteroid that was in Earth's orbit, and they thought, oh no, this could cause some potential damage. Well, it turns out it's actually Elon Musk's Tesla Roadster that he launched into space. Yeah. So Elon is trolling people even after the fact. And speaking of... that's not a meteorite strike. There should be a video here of a meteor striking a Canadian home, and it lands right on their doorstep. Hang on, let's see if I can refresh it and it'll come up, because it's worth seeing.
How small a meteor was this?
This is not a meteor.
You got mail.
I was an advocate for...
No, this looks like Australian news to me.
Western Sydney Road.
Well, I'm sorry, but apparently this news outlet has changed their video, so you can't see it. But there would have been a fun video here of a meteor hitting a Canadian doorstep. But
what happened to the door? Nothing.
It started fizzing. Okay. There was lots of smoke. But imagine that you walk home and there's just a meteor on your doorstep.
Yeah,
but
I'd
anyway.
like to see if there's any kind of message.
Crack it open.
Yeah.
Message in an egg. Okay, well, that's disappointing. Well, another thing that's disappointing is this. Apparently, New York had their first 5 days in a row of no shootings, and then 5 minutes after it was announced, there were 2 shootings. So that was the longest streak of no shootings in 30 years, and it only took 5 minutes for it to end after it was announced, which is a shame. But on a similar note, law enforcement...
Are they happy now that they caused this? with their
Shooting
with
ways.
a segment. They said nothing about it. These shots wouldn't have been fired.
Exactly. The police are a direct cause of it. Here we have another one. So, Police Officers Union says man who posted video of HMPD, I think that's Houston, so it's in Texas, unit doing donuts was snitching. And I think the video is somewhere. Here we go.
Cops eating donuts. I mean, I can't blame them.
Mm-hmm.
Well, cops.
Oh, for goodness sake, they've got announcers. Just play the video. But basically, they were just doing donuts in the snow, and then someone snitched on them, and the police called them out for it, saying you're a snitch. And, you know, there's a phrase that I had, and many others, actually, not just me, it was pretty well known, that if you snitched when I was in school, people would say snitches get stitches, you know. And rightfully so. No one likes a snitch.
Let them enjoy their donut.
Exactly. So, the Chinese are also having problems with their police force. Their first police corgi lost their end-of-year bonus. Apparently, they were sleeping on the job, and they also peed in their food bowl.
And having donuts.
They didn't.
When they shouldn't.
There were no donuts involved.
Okay.
But apparently, some of their toys were confiscated after bad behaviour. But look at that little guy. Look at him. That police corgi.
Yeah.
I think they're a bomb dog.
It's an issue of inflation. That's why he didn't get the bonus.
Yeah, the Chinese have printed too much money. That's it. But
Eating
yes,
in food bowl. No, actually, they should discipline this dog.
that's a dirty habit, isn't it?
Yeah, you don't pee where you eat.
Mm-hmm.
Just don't do this.
Speaking of dogs in China, who wants to see? This is a Chinese zoo that unveiled its new tiger exhibit, and of course, these tigers look a little bit on the small side.
Like a tiger zebra.
And also those fences, I don't know, these dangerous animals need to be kept in specialist facilities, really. Look at them. Bloodthirsty animals, both. And of course, this is the same zoo that is known for, there should be a video somewhere. Oh. What is going on? All of the videos are
Is that
disappearing.
the video with Steve Irwin?
No, it was meant to be a video because they had the pandas that were just dogs. I hate these websites.
The dog pandas.
Yeah.
Who's actually doing it? Is there a cross?
They're painting the dogs.
They're painting the dogs.
I know.
It's better than eating them.
It's true. They're not Haitians. Actually, Stelios, it's China. They are eating the dogs. Oh dear. Took it on a low note there. But we're not done with China yet, because obviously lots of weirdness goes on. And apparently, if you like going on your phone when you go to the toilet, in China that is not allowed. Apparently they've been taking too long. So what's been going on? A Chinese company has been taking pictures of people on the toilet and shaming them by leaving their pictures up in the bathroom. Apparently, a Chinese company in Shenzhen has received massive criticism after it took extreme measures to punish employees for spending too long in the restroom. Lijiang Daisheng in southern China's Guangdong province resorted to photographing employees using the toilet and subsequently posting the pictures on the restroom wall. So
Oh, that's not nice.
that's horrible, isn't it?
Yeah, just zero privacy.
Apparently-
Look at these people. They look as if they're sitting on.
Hole.
Yeah.
They don't have proper toilets, do they, a lot of the time? Apparently, they were smoking and playing mobile games. Also, if it's just a hole in the ground, it's not like you're sat on something, so you're just squatting there. So you shouldn't be doing that anyway, but it's still gross that the company was doing that. And then, what do you think my final story is, Stelios?
Something about New Zealand.
That's true. You can see the tab, yes.
Yeah, so that's the only thing.
Say, you're a fan of mountains, right?
Yeah, of course.
I'm
a fan of mountains.
I know, you're Greek, you love a mountain.
Yeah.
So mountains, you think that maybe they add a bit of character to a place? Maybe they
Depends. They can. Yeah.
they have a
But they
feeling,
ha-
an
they-
essence, a sort of character about them.
They need to be well behaved though.
That's true. You don't want misbehaving mountains.
Yeah. Because actually, they give a bad name to countries if they're not nice.
They start erupting, maybe.
Yeah.
So the final thing I wanted to touch on, the weird stories of the month, is that this sacred mountain, Mount Taranaki, was granted personhood in a new law. So this mountain is now legally a person in New Zealand. Does it look like a person to you?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay, I think so.
I think I could communicate with it.
Do you speak mountain? Do you?
I do speak mountain.
What does it sound like? Give us a rough idea.
It actually sounds a lot like Dutch.
Lots of.
Yeah.
Okay, I never would have guessed that. But apparently, because it's viewed as an ancestor in the Maori language, even though didn't they only get there in like the 14th century? So
I think so.
we've got provable evidence that they're not born of a mountain. So yes, because it's part of their indigenous view that they are born of this mountain, it's been legally recognised as a person and holds the same rights as a person. So apparently you can't climb. If you climb the mountain, you've got to ask it for consent first now, which is strange. But apparently they've ruled that a river and a stretch of sacred land are people before as well.
Yeah.
So
Taranaki Maunga rights are human rights.
We need to hear more about this, don't we? Mountain rights. But that's it. That is the start of the news for the year. It's been very weird. I don't know what people have been doing. But yes, there's probably a lot more to come. I'm keeping my eye out on the monkey news, personally. That's my favourite kind of news. But yes, you're welcome, I suppose. If you would like to watch the full uncut version that is also uncensored, head on over to lotuseaters.com to find out more.